What's up, guys? This is Corey with the Dirt City Gem, back with another video for y'all today. So today we're going to be taking a look at the new Promo Gogeta Leader that you were to get in the Dragon Ball Heroes game for Switch. This is an incredibly aggressive base leader that I think it can have the potential to be really fun. So let's get on into the list. Alright, so for those of you who are unaware, we've got Super Saiyan Gogeta on the front and then Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Fusion Transcendent on the back. So on his front side, he's a normal 10k. Whenever he attacks, he gets plus 5k and you can draw a card. He's got a really cool that he awakens at 5, which I think is probably a little unnecessary, but they gave it to him anyway, which makes him the potential to be incredibly aggressive, kind of like what we're talking about. And he is a flip 2 when awakening. So his backside, he just has double strike. He's just a 15k double strike leader. Whenever he attacks, draw a card. And then he's got the activate main once per turn. You can choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 10k power or less and KO it. So again, just an overall really good, he just screams aggressiveness. Really what we're trying to do with this deck, as you'll see as we get into it, is play cards, turn them sideways, deal damage, rinse, recycle, repeat, all that good stuff. So moving on the list, we got 4 intensifying power trunks. He's our 1-drop swing, take a life, get plus 10k crit. He's a Vol target for chain attack trunks, which is also really good. This is a really great turn 1 play. Moving on after that, we've got 3 Saiyan Kaba, just a good oldie from set 1. He's similar to the trunks, except instead of crit, he gains plus 10k double strike. So again, just really aggressive and really strong. He's self-awakening, he's dealing damage, he can close out games by himself, just gaining double strike. He's just a big threat to have to deal with. After that, we've got 4 burst attacks on Gohan. So he's a critical 15k, costs 3, and he's got auto whenever he attacks. If you have 4 or less cards in your hand, you may draw 2 cards. So as you'll see, as we get in a little bit more of the list, we're doing a lot of things where we're dumping cards of our hand like pretty aggressively. And then he helps us kind of refill that hand back up, so we can just kind of keep going down that cycle of just being aggressive. Next up, we've got 3 Digging Deep Gogeta. He's a 3 cost 15k. He's got the auto whenever he swings. You may take up to 2 life. If you take at least 1, he untaps and gains plus 5k for the duration of the turn. So he's effectively a 20k dual attack for 3, which again is really strong. He's self-awakening. He's just a great... he's good for board clearing. He's good for swinging at leaders more than once. Just all that really good stuff. At 20k, he's already applying pressure. Just all that. Just really great card, especially for 3. Alright, next up we've got 4 Furthering Destruction Champa. As mentioned previously, I just prefer Champa as opposed to the Kai. It just saves me headaches later from people sharking and different things like that. It's totally acceptable to play the Kai over the Champa if you prefer. It's just totally a preference here with the Champa. Champa is, plus 10k double strike. He's just really good. We're running a lot of crit attackers, so being able to give those things double strike, just really big cards in general that we're swinging with, giving those double strike, we're really, like I said, we're just really going at face as hard and fast as possible. Alright, next up we've got 4 Chain Attack Trunks. Pretty self-explanatory what Chain Attack Trunks is, but he is a 4 cost, 3 red. He's a 20k, he's got the auto whenever he can attack battle cards in active mode. And what's really good about him, he's got the auto whenever he comes into play. You can choose a battle card with power 15k or less from your hand and put it into play. So again, he's just going along with our theme of being aggressive. We've got a lot of different cards here that he can play. Some of the best cards for him to play are this Burst Attack Gohan or this Digging Deep Vegeta. He evolves for 2 off of the Intensifying Power Trunks for 2 red. So you can go 2 there, go to Trunks, or go to Digging Deep Vegeta, and then you have a lot of swings right off of that. Alright, next up we've got Super Saiyan Gogeta, the Acrobatic Warrior. So he is a 4 cost 15k. He's got the permanent. You can only have one of these in your battle area at any given time. But he's also got the auto whenever you play a battle card that energy costs of 5 that is both red and green. You may play him to your hand for free. He's got another one that affects with Alliance. We're never going to use Alliance. We're not running Alliance in this deck, but really what he is he's a free 15k body that comes in and turns sideways. That's pretty much it. Alright, next up we've got Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Resonant Explosion. So this is our first dual color card. He is red and green. He is a 5-drop 20k. So being a 5-drop red-green, he activates Acrobatic Warrior. He's got energy exhaust, so whenever you play him in your energy, he comes into play in rest mode. Everyone pretty knows that by now. He's got a rival, so whenever there is both a red and green card in your combo area on both your or your opponent's turn, you may pay one red energy, and play him to your hand, from your hand into play. He's got the auto whenever he comes into play. You can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, the energy cost of 4 or less, and KO it. He's also got double strike, so again, he's just really aggressive, he's really efficient, he's really cheap. He brings out the Acrobatic Warrior, then his KO ability brings out another card we'll show you a little bit later, which I'll go over what that chain is here in a second. It's just a really overall strong card. 20k double strike for 1. Obviously, you're going down 3 in the hand, which is going back to that combination we were talking about with the burst attacks on Gohan. We're pitching a lot of cards out of our hand every turn, but we're doing a lot of things with those. Alright, so moving on, we've got Super Saiyan, God, Goku, and Vegeta, Energy of the Gods. So these are both pretty similar. They're both 3 cost, 1 green, 2 other. They're both 15Ks. They both have the permanent. If your opponent has 2 more battle cards in play, you reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 2. They cost 1 green. Where they differ is Goku has Sparking 2. Whenever you play this card, you may draw a card. And then Vegeta has Sparking 2. Whenever you play this card, you can choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, which their total energy cost adds up to 2 or less, and KO them. So he's good early board removal, and Goku's just good draw. They're both 15k beat sticks. You just play them, swing with them. They're also green, so that goes into the cost of the comboing for our Resident Explosion, Gogeta, all that kind of good stuff. But he's just really efficient. It's really what the deck's trying to do, just be efficient and swing with things. Next up, we've got 3 Speedy Surprise Attack, or Speedy Attack. Frieza, so this is a 4 cost, 2 green, he's 15k critical, and he's got the auto. Whenever one of your opponent's battle cards is KO'd, you may play this card from your hand for free, and you can only ever have one of these in play at a time. So again, as we'll go with this little cycle we have, we can swing with something, we can combo a red and a green, we can pay a red, play Gogeta, the Resident Explosion, and then whenever he comes into play, he triggers the Acrobatic Warrior, and then Gogeta's auto triggers to pop something, and that plays the Frieza from hand. So for 1 energy and several cards out of hand, we've got a 20k double strike, a 15k single strike, and a 15k crit, which again, we're just swarming the board and swinging face and just being aggressive, which is really just what the theme of the deck is. This is, again, we're losing several cards out of our hand for doing all this, but that's why we have the burst attack Gohan to kind of make up for what we're losing. Moving on from that, we've got 2 Mirror Creator Absorbed, so he is a 7 cost, Overwhelm for 1. He needs 4 cards in the drop to Overwhelm. And then he's got the auto. Whenever he swings, he gets plus 5k for every card in your warp. So again, this is a great closer. Again, a great card for decks that are trying to be aggressive and putting a lot of cards in the drop and then swinging with a big body. He works really great with the Further Instruction Champa. There's several times in a game, if you've got 6, 7, 8 plus cards in the drop, you play him, put a Champa on him, people just generally can't get over that. They're either forcing to negate that, or they just can't out-combo it. So if they don't have the negate, you can just kind of win for 2 energy, which is just incredibly strong. Moving on from that, we've got 4 of the Sun Goten super combo. It's largely irrelevant which super combo you use, as long as it works for the red leader. We just use the Goten, that's just because. Finally, for our battle cards, we've got Frieza's Army Reborn. So I think most decks now need some type of access to an SCR. Frieza is probably the best option for our red leader here. So he is a 8 cost normally. He's quadruple strike 40k. He's got that permanent. If you have 2 or less life, they reduce the energy cost of him by 3, so he costs 5 red. And then whenever he comes into play, you clear your opponent's board, and then you look at their hand and you take 1 card from it and send it to their drop. So if they have a small hand, or even a decently sized hand, you can play him. You get that hand information, what they have in their hand, what they can defend against. Let's say they only have 1 negate, you can say, okay, I'm going to take that negate, get rid of it, swing. Now I know what to combo up to, and I can just win the game right there. So just really strong finisher, probably one of the better finishers in the game. He is a little bit more cost pricey because he is a 5-drop. But if you're getting into those late portions of the game, he's really effective that way. And then finally, we've got 4 After Image Technique. We don't run a pure negate in the deck. After Image Technique is similar to negate. It gives us plus 40k, or one of your opponent's battle cards, minus 10k for the turn. It's also Sparking 5, so we need to take additional life. We can do that with him. Moving on to the sideboard, we've got we've got 3, is that all you got? If we need more access to negates in the side deck, that's kind of what I feel those are really good for if people like to go wide strategies. Is that all you got? It's a great option being a red leader. You negate, and then if you pitch a red card, you can give 2 of your opponent's battle cards minus 15k. So it could be effectively almost 3 negates in one, especially if your opponent sequences poorly. If they swing with a leader first while having battle cards in play, you can play is that all you got, and then either kill 2 battle cards or just reduce them so greatly that they're largely irrelevant for the rest of the turn. Moving on from that, we got Planet M2, which is really good for like the vanilla Q type matchup. Just random also matchups where people like to play little small battle cards and things like that. Just giving them minus 5k and putting them back. It's also really good giving a leader minus 5k so we can swing in and just be more aggressive that way. Moving on from that, we got 2 Time Control Cronoa, pretty staple there. We've got 3 Mercenary Tau. Hand Destruction sucks, so we don't want to play against it, so we'll play Tau. And we've got 3 Tien Shinhan, Returning Fire, again, just anything blue. And then we've got 2 Dimensional Banisher Fu. If ever we feel like we need more, just like hardcore specific removal, the Gogeta only removes 4 or less versus Fu is just anything and it warps it. You can swip out the Mira for the Fu and just kind of go that way. But that is the deck list. Like I said, really what this deck's trying to do, there's no nuance to it. It's play a card, swing. Play a card, swing. Play more cards, swing. Drop Gogeta, drop Acrobatic Gogeta, drop Surprise Attack, Frieza, swing, swing, swing. You know, all in all, that's really what it is. Very simple, very aggressive. That's really what we're trying to do with it. It can really take advantage of decks that are trying to move a little bit slower, decks that don't really get off until turn 3, turn 4. We can start like really like piling it on early. Personally, I think Gogeta Veku Ramp is probably the best deck in format at the moment, and if we can take advantage of getting them down real low quickly, we can really kind of swing that matchup again in our favor. Janemba is the same way. If we can just start punishing Janemba early, we can really kind of deal with those things. But other than that, guys, that is it. Let me know what you think about the deck list down below, and if you want to see any other specific leaders anytime soon, be sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.